All right, welcome everyone. Today I have another celebration call with Magnus, and Magnus has been joining us for the private mentorship these past months, and it's been amazing. I've been really happy to have you with us, and yeah, I'm gonna let you share a little bit about your journey, and we're just gonna have a nice little chat, yeah, sharing what you've been through and how you kind of got into this. So maybe we can start with that. How did you get into a private mentorship with us?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I I guess that the introduction to you guys came through my wife. Since 40 years, I'm married to Anna, and she's been very interested in this more in-depth development of mind and body, and I've been following that from a close distance, if you like, and well, I got curious and got in contact with you guys.
Yeah, beautiful. And we were talking a little bit previous to the call how interesting it was that, this is usually how it is. For me as a coach, when I work with someone, there's usually one spouse working, the husband or the wife working with us, and then the other one kind of starts to, what is this? What is it that you're doing? And they start to get a little bit curious. So as I remember it, she kind of pulled you in a little bit, and you were like, okay, let's try this and see what it's all about. But it has kind of developed a little bit since then. You care to share a little bit about that?
Of course, it certainly has. Yeah, from the beginning, we're not only married; we have 4 grown-up kids, and we have also company together since over 20 years in the real estate business. And the I think the timing has been also very important for us to kind of take this to the next step, both our own relationship with each other, but also the personal aspect of it. So I kind of, you're right, I was prompted kind of by Anna to, like, we need to see what's going on in the future. We need to take this to the next level, and I was kind of open for that as well. I've always been interested in philosophical and existential matters, but more from a distance, from outside, not so much digging into myself like this. And has been on that route for much longer than I have. And yeah, I said, yeah, sure. I came in with a very open and curious mind, you know, for both of us, kind of for our relationship, and to take this to the next level for the next phase of our life. The company's kind of mature, and we've been successful, and the kids are grown up, and yeah, we can do other things than change diapers and all that kid stuff. So I think the timing was very important for this step to take as well. I started the journey together with you, as I said, with a very open mind, a total trust. I didn't have any doubts or fear coming into this, and I think that has been very important for my journey as well. I wasn't resistant at all to what was coming, both from the aspect that if you're going to do something, you better do it good, and I was also, as I said, uh, it wasn't totally new for me. I mean, I heard a lot from Anna, and also I've been kind of interested. So I was curious.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I just love how you talk about that you done your transition in the business, you build a business together, you build a family together, and different stages in life you will want to work on different areas of your life, like you said, not just changing diapers, we can do something else. What would the next step be? And that's what I really liked about working with the both of you, that you kind of just hungry for something new. Okay, what's the next step? It's not just, okay, we're now the kids are starting to get older and move out. We just keep on moving on. You kind of hungry, you want something differently. And that's really what I've been seeing. Like you said, you wasn't sure what you got when you got into this, but you were open and like, okay, if I'm gonna do it, let's do it. And yeah, it's been really amazing to watch. What would you say has been the maybe the most insightful when it comes to working together, like something that you realized about yourself or a class or any practice? What has stood out the most for you, essentially?
It's very easy to answer that question. I mean, for me, the we done a lot of like sessions and practices, some of them or all of them very physical, and there's two of them I would like to pinpoint. One is breathworks sessions we had. We had like mainly 2 in a week, 2 per week for the past 6 months. I tried this in Kolanta, where we have been staying for parts of the year for many years. I tested it together with your colleague Sarah and Linda, also a colleague of yours, and I had a really great experience from the first session of doing that. I also had one of my daughters with me, and we had a very profound and a deep experience. So that also gave me kind of the boost to continue, I think, and not be scared of anything that's coming up in the next 6 months. The other one is the TRE sessions we had, which has been, it was a slower start with TRE, and kind of grew on me. I got more and more answers, and I got more and more coming back from that over the sessions we had, and that's been extremely nice to combined. To answer your question, I think that the absolutely most important I got out of all of this is to understand how important the nervous system is to the whole life of a human being. I was before thinking that everything that you think and feel is yourself. But like, if you compare it to a tree, like 15-meter tree, it's got a 15-meter root system below the ground. And I didn't, as you don't see, you only see the leaves and the fruit and the flowers and everything. You never think about the root system, but it's equally important. And when it comes to my experience, and it's been a very deep one, I got to shut down the visible part of the through these sessions. I was able to, thanks to you guys, shut down the conscious mind and let the unconscious mind, equally big as the root system and the tree, come up. And I got to see it for the first time and feel it for the first time, and I felt profoundly that I've met the real me, without any strange mushrooms, any strange poison from any frogs or drugs or anything. This is a totally natural and ecological. Maybe we can call it ecological instead, because it's like not bad for you at all. It's totally natural, and I loved it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that's an amazing experience. And it really is what you said. You shut off your thinking mind and you connect to something else, and you don't know it's there unless you touch upon it, right? And that's a beautiful experience. And you had many of those. That's yeah. So I also really enjoyed what you said, that many times talking about emotions and working with emotions, it can be different for different people, right? But a lot of the practices we do are very practical and physical, so it's not always sit and talk about emotions is actually that you said you get to experience the roots. You get a practical way of actually feeling it, not just imagine how does
Yeah.
your roots feel, imagine it. You actually get to connect to it. And like you said, that really changes something within because you become aware of something deeper. So how do you feel that has kind of had an, what kind of effect has that had on you in your life in
Yeah.
general?
It's a very good question, because it's like, if you compare it to, there's millions of zillions of YouTube clips out there, and intelligent people, more or less intelligent people, talking about these kind of topics. And if you, I would say it's more, it could be like more of a, it's a post-it paper, and as soon as it blows away again, and you're there again.
Mm.
This is the in-depth. The difference from me, I cannot talk for everybody, of course, but for me, it's the difference has been that it really stuck, because now with only the conscious mind getting information from, it could be immensely intelligent and wise, but it doesn't go down because it's just up here. And I heard some smart people say that the conscious mind is sometimes having your worst enemy as a roommate. And I think it's true, because there's a lot of, oh, you shouldn't do this, why did you do that, you worry about this, everything. That's the conscious mind, but it's not necessarily true, because it's just circling up here. And if you don't connect with your unconscious mind to make decisions, or to get, to get in information, or to believe something, then it's just half of the process. So it's been extremely important to be able to, through the sessions, shut down in a natural way, shut down the conscious mind, and actually meet the smart guy down there, in the basement. I got the key for the elevator. It's like, I always saw the button, but I didn't know how to get there.
Yeah, I just love it because that's really how I remember our journey together of like, I mean, from the start, you knew like most of the things I said, you already knew, you read about it, you heard about it somewhere. I mean, you were very aware of it. But like you said, like, wow, you got the key and you got to experience this and just drop into the subconscious mind where, I mean, 80-90% of your behaviors come from. They don't come from what you think in your day-to-day life, come from all the accumulated experiences. Once you start to tap into that, that's when you can really change something. It's not that post-it sticker, like you said, just you actually internalize something and it changes you.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I mean, life changing is a very it's a very strong expression, but it's been very close for me.
Beautiful. And how has it been with doing like the weekly classes and so on? So we kind of have this set up, like you mentioned, that we have some group classes and then we have some one-on-ones. How has that been working, not just with me in private sessions, but with other people? How have you felt any benefits from that?
I didn't have any classes where I didn't go to any classes where we actually changed like verbally so much experiences, but the sessions with TRE and breathworks, like the more physical sessions, has been joined by other people. There's been a few words said from everybody, but it's never been for me. I don't want. I personally, I didn't want to be in like a open discussion class or session. I don't feel I'm ready for that. I don't want that. But you and I mean, we talk about you as a PT. You feel like you mentioned that before, but like a personal together, we can be totally unfiltered. And that's been extremely easy for me to be together with you. You have all the background and experiences, and to be able to reflect that through talking sessions together with you only. has been extremely valuable for me, because then we can reflect what's going on, and you can talk about your experiences. And so that mix of personal discussions and more physical sessions has been my preferred model. But everybody's different.
Beautiful. Yeah, I agree. And we talked about this quite a lot also. I think it might be a difference, masculine and feminine too, right? Like what we feel drawn to in terms of some people like to talk in groups and interactions, and there might be a different way of approaching it, more like okay, I can do this, I can meet people, but I don't want to spill all my inner processes yet. I can meet in a group, but I want to do my thing, and if I feel ready at some point, I might share with others. But yeah, we talk quite a lot about that. how how do you feel that has benefited you as a man? Because a lot of times when it comes to this work, there's a lot of women in a lot of circles and group programs. As a man, how do you feel that has benefited you, being in a mixed container like this and experience these tools?
Uh, well, from that aspect, I didn't think about it much, actually. I think a healthy mix is always the best. But as I said, I haven't been really involved in the more like group discussion, so it hasn't affected me really. I've seen like Zoom pictures sometimes of, but I didn't think about the gender so much in that aspect. However, the gender aspect has been constantly present in the process, because men and women are very different. And for me to meet myself, like the subconscious myself, has been a way to understand that everything is not compromise and confusion, and I, I found myself, and from that I can decide and create healthy boundaries, and make good decisions, be strong in what my views, and also absolutely listen more to other people to understand. Because if you look at the guy in the basement, like the subconscious, he's a very quiet kid, and he's the guy sitting in the back of the classroom. I've been sitting in the front of the classroom all my life, because I shouldn't talk too much, so the teacher was close to tell me what to do. But when that guy, more the ego guy, meets the quiet guy in the background, that becomes a very strong experience. So I think that my experience together with you guys has been, I didn't realize it for a few months, but it's been, I'm much more interested in other different people's views, and not only the obvious visible things, but also you can call it to be more humble, I guess, is probably one of the aspects to it. But yes, the gender aspect is there, but it's much more than that.
Yeah, and the way I remember we talked a lot about it was, gender is one thing, but we introduced the polarity concept a lot, right? That it was beyond gender. It was really the energetics, the magnetic pull between feminine and a male core. And men have feminine part, like energies in them, and masculine. And we all have different predispositions of it. So as a man, you might have a more masculine core, but you also might have a more feminine core. And we talked a lot about when you find your core and you connect to it, like you mentioned, then a lot of things can start to change, and that will look different for everyone. But that's something I remember we touched upon quite a lot, that Yeah, I remember it sparked your interest a lot, like the way we talked about it, that it wasn't stereotypical, like a man must be like this and macho. It was coming from a completely different context, which
Yeah.
was more empowering in a more grounded and balanced way. What would you say about that? How has that been working with that aspect?
Uh, except from the subconscious meetings, or the real me, I feel meetings I've had, experiences I've had. That's the second most important one. To understand the polarity and the balance between, like all and everything in nature strives for balance, and to understand that there's a matrix of, the gender is only one level, that this matrix of different, behaviors or patterns has been extremely important for me to understand, not the least my relationship and myself. What am I doing? What am I adopting? You can, as a man, you can adopt behaviors that it's not natural from someone else, and it becomes a confusion. And for me, that's been straightened things out in a very, very good way, because it's not only, it's a multi-level way of looking at it. Maybe this is complicated, but life is complicated, so that's why we're here.
I agree. I agree. And it's an ongoing journey, right? It doesn't stop with 6 months. It's you get into it, you get a few experiences, work through hurdles, and really gain the tool and the practice to continue. It's a lifelong practice for sure. All right. So who would you say could be a good fit for this in your opinion, from what you've seen with the other attendees and for yourself? Who would you say could fit for a program like this?
Everybody, but not everybody. So I think that you have to be kind of pushed to, or developed or matured to a level where you actually can digest not only the development, but also the situation that you are in. You need to understand, I think you need, the prospect of this needs to understand that this is probably exactly what I need at this point of my life. And that could be millions of different reasons for that. For me, it wasn't really like a terrible, obvious problem in terms of within myself, like a trauma or something. I didn't have any real tangible things to that I'm also aware of. Of course, I had, but I didn't at that point. It wasn't that triggered me. It was, as I said before, it was prompted by someone else. But I think that if I should answer your question, I think people that are suffering, that they feel limited in their lives from something, maybe they don't even understand what, to that they're not, feeling worried, feeling good. That could be some things that prompts yourself to reach out. But it could also be a natural change in life, like age. For me and Anna, I think it was that, but it came with other stuff. But I think that it was the moment in life that it's not meant to continue exactly as it has been for the past 40 years. So if you want to have another 40 years of a good life, I think then you probably need to change your thing, or it doesn't have to be huge things, but just some mutual understanding, or understanding of yourself, is something that if you long for that somehow, from some reason, I think that this is fabulous. And it's not another think that there's a lot of like courses. This is a big business, you know. People sell this and they want to sell it again, so they don't really want some. This is a little bit cynical maybe, but I think that business sometimes needs to be a perpetuum mobile, that it's like it always never stops. You should come back again and do it yourself, and you know.
Don't really succeed. You're supposed to be stuck in the loop.
Yes.
Yeah, I got what you mean. Yeah.
Yes, that's so, and this is not because the difference here is the nervous system. I think that's the focus on the nervous system, that the voices in your body, that this doesn't necessarily say what it wants, what's best for you. That gets a voice through these practices and through these sessions. That's the biggest difference from all of these, you know, help yourself courses out there that's just going to pump you for money.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and I really like what you said. You know, you don't have to come because there's a crisis. That's not necessarily it. It might just be self-inquiry. I want something new in life, or like, okay, kids moved out, or I got to this point in life. What will I do with the next of my life? You know, what's the next trajectory? And I think a lot of people don't think that far. I get the education, I get the partner, I get the kids, I get the house, and then the money, and then now what? What do I do from here, right? Like there's other areas to develop and to strive towards. And like you mentioned, you didn't come in from a crisis, but you noticed a lot of things that were beneficial for you as we progressed along the program. So that was very beautiful to hear. Okay, any last words if there's someone that wants to do this but might be a little bit hesitant and like, I want to do it, but I'm not sure. What would you say to someone that's considering joining us?
Don't be scared. That's what I'm saying. And not this is like yoga or you going to the gym, but even more for the mind, and it gives a total oneness. I feel that this could give a oneness of your life, and it certainly did to me, and it's worth the efforts to do it. It's fantastic, I think.
Thank you. Beautiful. Yeah, so if you're watching this and you're interested in our mentorship programs, you can go to our website, livingwiththespirit.com, and you can book a free discovery call, and we'll see if we're a good fit, if you resonate with how we work and what we do, and then you can join the program from there. All the information about the program is also online, so that you can see all the details, what it inquires with, like Magnus said, weekly theory classes and breath work, and also group coaching sessions of different kinds for people to, from the comfort of their own home, continue to do a deep dive process. And maybe you don't have the possibility to come to Thailand, but you can still do it from wherever you're at in the world, and log in if you have a computer. And like Magnus said, if you set apart a little bit of time of your week. All right. Thank you very much for this, Magnus. I know you're a busy man, so I'm really honored and privileged that I got some time with you to have a chat about this. And yeah, looking forward.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.